Mic check, mic check. What's going on? Welcome back to another hip hop snapshot. I'm your host, Ross Martinez, and this week we begin a new arc called Off the Grid. Last week we took you behind the curtain and showed you how the industry can dilute and water down hip hop. But for every time the industry tried to water down a beautiful culture, there were independents out there screaming to make sure hip hop still had its voice. This week we'll be highlighting 5 different independent giant record labels that fought back. Today, we're going to be spotlighting Stones Throw Records, a home for the brilliant and the bizarre, all in the same. Without further ado, grab that milk crate, take a seat. It's time to talk hip-hop history. Let's start in 1996. Peanut Butter Wolf, a Bay Area DJ with a crate full of Vision Records, creates Stones Throw Records in honor of his late friend, rapper Charisma. It wasn't a record label that was born in the boardroom. It was born out of grief, love, and legacy, and that energy is something you can hear in all the projects that were greenlit in Stones Throw Records. But Stones Throw didn't play the industry's game at all. They wrote their own rules and did their own thing. They praised the weird and the individual rather than the trends. Let's start with Exhibit A, J Dilla. When his album Donuts dropped in 2006, hip-hop felt it, but for a lot of different reasons. Here was a man on his deathbed, battling lupus, confined to a hospital bed, creating a genre-defining homage as his final act in life. This instrumental album was surgical precision. Donuts wasn't just music, it was medicine for the soul. It was a Morse code for those that feel a little bit deeper. A producer speaking to the world with a sampler as his voice box. And Stones Throw gave it a home, and they propped it up very high. No corporate sanitizing, no market-tested fluff, just the raw human spirit on loop. Now let's talk about Madlib, the beat conductor. This man doesn't just produce music, he disappears into it like his fans do. Through Stones Throw, Madlib built worlds. He created Yesterday's New Quintet, an imaginary jazz band where he played every instrument. He made beat conductor tapes that sounded like warped memories. He fused blunted jazz, Brazilian samples, and grimy funk, and it moved the culture underground. And then came Madvillainy, the collaboration with the mask anomaly named, in all caps, MF Doom. MF Doom was hip-hop's riddle wrapped in rhyme. He is an icon in underground hip-hop. A cult classic, some say. He didn't chase hits. He didn't chase interviews. He didn't even chase fame. He wore a metal mask like Doom off the comics and Marvel and let the bar speak for itself. With the album Madvillainy, he and Madlib turned surrealist storytelling into scripture. Each song was layered, chaotic, hilarious, and genius all in the same. The kind of project only a label like Stones Throw would greenlit without flinching a muscle. And yet MF Doom wasn't a gimmick rapper. He was a movement all on his own, a counterpunch to everything the mainstream thought was hip-hop. But Madlib wasn't done there. He slowed his voice down, pitched it up, and created Quasimodo, the animated chaos gremlin who spit psychedelic bars and narrated a dusty alternate dimension of hip-hop. The industry would have said no very quickly, but Stones Throw said, go ahead, be you. And just like that, we got The Unseen, a underground classic that proved your weirdness isn't a liability at all. It's your lane to thrive. Stones Throw wasn't just a label. It was a lab. It helped launch or amplify many careers. People like Aloe Black, who brought soul back into the fold. Mayer Hawthorne, proving that white boys could croon without cosplaying or playing a gimmick role. Knowledge, whose dusty chops helped fuel To Pimp a Butterfly. Homeboy Sandman, an MC's MC with sharpened syllables. And Georgia Ann Muldrow, who blurred the lines between funk, jazz, soul, and cosmic righteousness. Each artist was a different chapter in the same manifesto of hip-hop. To be original, to be fearless, and above everything, to be hip-hop. Even if you don't look like what the billboard says is hot. You want to know how strong Stones Throw's fingerprint is? Well, Kanye. Kendrick, Frank Ocean have all been influenced, major mainstream artists. Because Stone's Throw didn't just survive in the margins, it made the margins magnetic. Independence comes at a cost. And let me say that one more time. Independence comes at a cost. And that cost is consistency on a long, uncertain path. But then I ask you, are you traveling to the destination with the time clock? Or are you on a journey to impact lives at every stop? All right, without further ado, that's been another episode of Hip Hop Snapshots. I'm your host, Ross Martinez, and as always, dig deep through crates, sample truth, and above everything, be hip hop. All right, I'll catch you next up. Peace.